ready to start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Brian Gillow, would you like to read some?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's Thursday, December 5th, 2019. On my right, representing District 2, is Commissioner Kevin Cook, and on my left is Commissioner Aaron Mays, who represents District 3, and I'm Bill Rippon, and I represent District 1. And so good morning. Good morning. Good. First item.
Our first item is consent agenda, item 3.
I'll move for approval as presented. I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
We did not have any vouchers on Monday due to the holidays, so we have a larger than amount than we would see today. We have $3,140,875.86. The highlights really out of the voucher report, we have our under building maintenance professional engineering consultants of $18,889.50 for the sports field design. Under the district attorney, we have journal technologies for $13,571, which is just wave support. Under general expense, we have the piping contractors of Kansas, $19,395 for replacement of the east fire main at the adult detention center. I do not have any questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
I will second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I would move that we approve the correction orders. Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, Bond Council number 1, public hearing and consider resolution number 2019-95 for the creation of lateral sewer district number 3 as part of Shawnee County Main Sewer District number 87.
Good morning, Bob Perry. This resolution will create lateral sewer district 3, which would be part of main sewer district 87. The sewer lines, the lateral lines, would be served by the Sherwood wastewater treatment facility, so it would be part of the Sherwood Regional Wastewater District, and also part of the interceptor sewer number 50. The petitioner is paying all of the fees. There'll be no special assessments or bonds issued on this project. And he's going to pay the fees necessary to become part of the Sherwood Regional Wastewater District as well as interceptor sewer number 50. The City Council, since this is in the city limits, approved the creation of or consented to the approval of this lateral at last December, November 19th. Yeah, November 19th meeting. Before you consider this resolution, you'll need to move and open this for a public hearing.
I'll move for open public hearing.
Second. Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Opposed? We're now open to a public hearing. So, do we have anyone who'd like to speak on the subject? Laurel? No one? All right.
I'll move to close and adopt.
I will second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, public hearing is now closed. Now, do we need a motion?
He included as part of his motion to approve the resolution.
Okay.
So,
Motion carries 3-0. Okay, next item.
Thank you.
Item C, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider approval of request to transfer $329,112 planned for the 2019 approved projects to the Building Maintenance 3R Fund as the 2019 projects may not be completed prior to December 31st, 2019.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Moreau, Parks and Recreation Director. Yeah, as the year winds down here, there was a list of projects that we're concerned we may not get completed this year. So we consulted with Betty Griner, and the recommendation was that we come up and ask permission to transfer these funds into our building maintenance, or 3R fund, so that we can use this year's monies to complete these projects, hopefully early 2020. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions about that or any of these projects.
Yes.
The funding source for these projects, are they coming out of the Parks and Rec budget? Are they coming out of the 3R fund? Are they coming out of the $3 million that was allocated to Parks and Rec from our reserve excess? Where did the funds come for these projects?
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Betty, but I think that the majority of these funds are coming from our operating budget. And so there are 3R funds and operating budget predominantly.
Betty Griner, Director of Administrative Services. This transfer is asking for a transfer out of their operating budget into basically like a project fund. They still will be able to only be spent for these specific items, but they're just transferring it out of this year's 2019 operating budget.
Okay. And then, while I have you, Betty, if we were talking about the $3 million excess funds that was dedicated to Parks and Rec
Yes.
in 2019, if they have projects that are going to extend out into 2020, do they need to create a special account?
No, that is already in a special fund, so there's not, that would carry over. So
Okay.
there would not be a transfer necessary.
All right. I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Commissioner Mays?
Nope. Good.
I would move that we approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Second item.
Item C2, consider authorization of execution of contract C 448-2019 with the Carruthers Construction Company LLC to assist with locating a potential problem in the Rossville Pool facility with funding not to exceed $9,500 and provided by the Park Services Division Aquatics Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. Before you today is a contract with Carruthers to find the leak that we have going in the Rossville Pool. If you recall, back in October, we had a similar agreement with American Leak Detectors, but they were unable to perform the work at the cost agreed upon, so we went back out to try to find somebody to do the job, and that is what's before you right now. Since our last time we requested, Tim and I both met with the mayor of Rossville and the city council, so they're aware of the problem, and they basically are aware. They didn't really give us an answer one way or the other of helping if this is a major problem or not, but we'll pass that along once we find out the problem of the leak. Be glad to answer any questions you may have.
How do they find the leak? They run cameras down through?
They actually, it's an, I believe it's an air line going through the air test, is what it says.
Okay. Yes.
Just to make sure, Randy, this is a maximum price of $9,500 to just find the leak. This is not to repair or replace any concrete for the leak.
Correct.
So, I mean, we don't know how expensive the leak may be.
Correct.
Now, previously, we talked about that under the agreement with the city of Rossville, Rossville constructed the pool, they then own the pool, but they allow the county to manage the pool, and the county is responsible for maintenance. Have we
Correct.
gotten any farther as to what is maintenance of the pool, whether or not this is maintenance, or if this is something that the city of Rossville would have some responsibility for?
We haven't went any further. We're waiting to see the major problem, what exists. And that's exactly the discussion we had with the mayor and the city council. They were under the impression it's all maintenance, but
I think we may need to have some clarification with our legal counsel and the department and the city of Rossville as to what's maintenance.
correct.
So,
We'll do that.
I'll move for approval to enter in contract with Carruthers, and hopefully it does not cost $9,500.
They don't think it will. They
Okay.
thought more about the 4,000 to 5,000 mark, so.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
Item C3, consider approval of request to award the bid for golf course management software and services to 4UP in an amount of $1,350 for training and $2,804.83 for equipment installation, with one trade daily, with funding from the Golf Division Operation Division or Department, and authorization and execution of contract C 449-2019 for same.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeremy Myers, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. The item before you, we came to in October to go out to bid to receive new software for the point-of-sale system and website hosting for our golf courses at Lake Shawnee, Forbes, and Cypress Ridge. 5 bids came back. We did, in the bid specifications, we did ask for cash pricing or barter or trade. And 4UP came back with the trade of only one trade daily, so that's 1 tee time per golf course daily. Currently, we have two trades daily at each golf course, so this is going to cut it in half with 4UP. Our golf staff did reference checks from other courses that use 4UP and very impressed with their solutions, their software. It is a cloud-based system, so that will be better for users and better for staff and better for network and maintenance and storage. We do, per our finance recommendations, is to go out for every 3 years, to go out for bid to see if we have the best rate available, and we do. With this authorization or approval, we will cancel Golf Business Solutions of Golf Now and enter into an agreement with 4UP Solutions. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Do you recall what we paid with the previous software?
It was 2 trades, 2 tee times per
That was the...
per golf course. Yep, so we did a trade with them instead of the cash option.
Okay, all right. Any questions? I'll move that we approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item D, Health Department, number 1, consider approval of request to reclassify 6 registered dietitian positions at a salary including benefits of $69,899, each with positions funded entirely through the Wic grant and are included in the 2019 and 2020 budgets.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. We have struggled over the last 18 months to hire and retain registered dietitians. We started looking around at what other counties were paying their dietitians as well as other employers in our area. We were the lowest paying health department in our area. As much as I support Douglas County and their health department, I don't really want to train their dietitians. It's kind of what's happening. So we're asking to have their salary increased. The hourly amount would be at $23.96 an hour, which would put them at the same pay range as what we just put the registered nurses. So I think that would help us not only recruit more dietitians, but hopefully retain them and maybe entice them to move to Shawnee County. We don't have a school here for dietetics here in Topeka, so people a lot of times commute. I did want to thank Betty Greiner for her help with this. Angela Lewis was also very helpful in helping us come to this proposal, and also we met with Mike Scribner with the Teamsters, and everyone is in agreement that this would be a good solution for these positions. The beauty of it too is it is all paid by the WIC grant, so there's no county tax allocation that would go into these salaries, and we did discuss it with the state WIC office, and they are also supportive. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? When we did our pay classifications study, where did we come in with, do you recall what this position was?
I don't recall 5 years ago. The current pay is $19.96 an hour for registered dietitians. So we were way under what other employers in the area right now. So I can tell you, like 8 or 9 years ago, I can't remember, I did come and ask to reclassify these positions and put them up with the RNs. Then the salary study changed that, so we're just kind of circling back again to that idea of keeping our licensed folks kind of at the same level.
Okay.
Linda, tell us why why is this position important? Why is it important to have a dietitian be in charge of your WIC program?
So the WIC program is all about nutrition, and a lot of people think, well, WIC, you just get free food. Well, that is not all WIC. WIC also does a lot of nutrition education. We do a lot of referrals to other services, and nationally we're seeing that the childhood obesity rate among children in WIC is going down. So this is an evidence-based program that works for children and pregnant women and infants, so we think it's so important that they're getting that professional help and counseling in nutrition, especially right now when we have such an obesity problem in our country. So that is why I think it's really important to keep registered dietitians in these positions. And in a few years, registered dietitians are going to be required to get a master's degree, so it's just going to be even harder to get them at that point.
Okay.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Thank you.
Item E, County Counselor, number 1, consider approval of change order number 2 and number 3 to contract C-150-2019 relating to the Stormont Vale Event Center renovation project, resulting in an increase in cost in an amount of $237,541 with funding from the contingency fund that is set aside for this project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Crowell, Shawnee County Counselor. These are two separate change orders that we're requesting for this project. The memo lists what those items are and how much are each. Change order 2 covers sort of an interesting issue, $18,216 to replace the fill where we are expanding Exhibition Hall, north of Exhibition Hall. Because it was so wet this year, that dirt remained too wet. And it's on the north side of the building, and it never dries out, and it was too unstable to work with in that condition, so we had to remove it, merely a function of the very wet year we had this year. $54,000 and a little bit more to redo the floors in the restrooms, $135,173 for installing wireless access points in Landon Arena. Those wireless access points will be able to serve up to 10,000 patrons. But more importantly, we're going to be going and moving to new ticketing systems that will use wireless devices to read your tickets off of your phone, like you do at the movie theaters or sporting events or other places. Plus, we'll be able to set up our point-of-sale systems wirelessly in different places around Landon Arena. So this is about improving the user experience at Landon Arena and all about that. Not just a luxury, but functional for the infrastructure in terms of our systems that we will be using. Change order number 3 replaces an air handling unit that serves locker rooms 5, 6, 7, and 8. When we originally reviewed the project a couple of years ago, they thought that air handling unit would be adequate for that purpose. Now that we're in construction, we find that it's probably and it is inadequate, and we need to upgrade that. Rubber flooring in restrooms 8, 10, and 12, those are restrooms used by hockey players and other patrons of the Expo Center who skate, and we don't want to have the normal flooring in there, but the rubber flooring will help to serve that, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
No, I do not.
Questions? I would move that we approve change orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item F, Administrative Services, number 1, consider approval of appropriation of transient guest tax to the Stormont Vale Event Center in an approximate amount of $54,000.
Good morning, Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. The county receives 7% transient guest tax each year from the one hotel that is outside the city limits. 1% of that goes to Sunflower Soccer. The remaining 6% is allocated to promote conventions, tourism, and economic welfare. This year, I have estimated, based on the history we've had, that amount will probably be about $54,000, but we actually pay out what we actually receive. I have only received one request for those funds. That is from the Stormont Vale Event Center. I have Kellen here to explain to you what he would be using this money for, and then I will ask for your appropriation of that money.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Site, Inspector of Venue Management, the Stormont Vale Event Center. This is the same request that we have produced over the last 2 years. The use of these transient guest tax dollars is twofold. We utilize this funding to further bolster our marketing efforts for a lot of the events that we retain and contract to help solicit additional marketing services and efforts in outlying communities of Shawnee County to help drive that transient guest tax revenue back into Topeka. The second piece of what we utilize this funding for is for our continued education programs within our departments. A lot of our departments do trainings, additional trainings to help support their departmental efforts and how our events are successful, both from a sales and marketing standpoint and from a booking standpoint. These funds are utilized to go out to conventions where we can garner and contract more of that business into our Topeka and Shawnee County community. Happy to answer any questions you might have in specific to that.
Questions?
I do not. I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you.
Item G, District Attorney, number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2019-96, approving the appointment of Brandon Jones as special counsel for the Shawnee County District Attorney.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Kage, Shawnee County District Attorney. I'm here before you today to ask you to approve this appointment for Brandon Jones, who is currently the county attorney in Franklin County. Previously, Mr. Jones served as the county attorney in Osage, which neighbors Shawnee County clearly, and I have asked him in the past to review and offer opinions on cases where I thought it would be helpful. This is the first time where we've actually had a case where we're going forward on it. And based on the unique circumstances surrounding the individual that this case is focused on, the fact that he at one time sat in one of those chairs. He also served as a municipal judge, and during the time he served as a municipal judge, the prosecutors in my office that handle these types of cases appeared in front of him, and he currently serves in the legislature where I do have a lot of contact. So this is more to avoid the appearance of any impropriety than an actual conflict, but the ethical guidelines that direct how we operate say it's important to avoid that as well. And so that's the nature of this request. That's the reason for it. I don't anticipate it's going to add any additional cost that we will not be able to handle out of our budget. So that's the request, and I'm happy to take questions.
Any questions?
I do not have any.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Kellen Site, Inspector of Venue Management in the Stormont Vale Event Center. As promised, we have announced another event this week. Baby Shark Live is coming Saturday, April the 18th. I think all of my staff is very excited to hear the Baby Shark song for about 90 minutes straight. So it has been a wildly successful event in other markets around the country, and we're very happy and fortunate to have contracted that event for April. We have also contracted another event, a concert that we'll announce around the third week of January. That will be a concert that takes place in the summertime of this next year. And then also just wanted to give a quick update. Our fifth annual Wing Fling is this Saturday. It starts at 2 p.m. and runs till 6 p.m. It takes place in the Exhibition Hall. That is an all-you-can-eat wing and beer festival. It's been an event that's grown leaps and bounds over the last few years, so a very successful event that takes place in our facility. It takes place in the Exhibition Hall, and much like last year, if you purchase a ticket to Wing Fling, you also get a free ticket to the Topeka Pilots game that takes place that evening. So 2 events in one, so hope forward to, and looking forward to seeing everybody out there on Saturday. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darlene Streeter, Parks and Rec. I just wanted to announce some exciting events we have coming up over the next 2 weeks. This Saturday is our holiday craft show at the Crestview Community Center from 9 to 3. We will have concessions and about 32 vendors with all kinds of exciting items to purchase. On December 13th, we have our candy cane hunt. The kids can come and see Santa, play seasonal games, and at the end, they take their flashlights out and hunt for candy canes. The children's shopping spree is December 14th. That's at the Garfield Shelter House. Children can come shop for their families. All the gifts are $10 or less. There's no admission charge, and we do provide free gift wrapping thanks to lots of volunteers. And then on the 14th, we also have a new event, the Old Prairie Town Christmas. It will be at Old Prairie Town from 6 to 8 p.m. It is $5 for children, $2 for adults. Yesterday, we put out the luminaries on the sidewalks like we use at Tulip Time. We'll have the kids making reindeer feed in the stable, writing letters to Santa in the depot, taking Santa selfies in the mansion by the Christmas tree, stories in the schoolhouse, and Commissioner Mays is one of our guest readers for that event. We'll have music in the church and cookies and cocoa in the cabin. So everybody come out and enjoy these events, some family fun.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm definitely ready for cookies and cocoa. All right. Craig Barnes, Health Department. Just wanted to let you know and the public know that this week is National Influenza Awareness Week. So what we are doing, we've hosted a handful already of free flu clinics for uninsured adults. We will be hosting one more for 2019. That will be next week on Wednesday, December 11th from 5 to 7 p.m. at our 10th Street Clinic, which is 2115 Southwest 10th Avenue. So again, this is for any individual and adult, so 19 years of age or older without insurance can come and get a free flu vaccine. So that is free. When we say free, that is free. So if they have any questions about that, they can call our immunization clinic. That's 251-5700 to ask any questions about that. But we are seeing, just as a little bit of information, we are seeing just a slight elevated flu activity already this year in comparison to last year. So it's still a really good time to get out and get a flu vaccine. And it takes about a week to 2 weeks for those antibodies to kick in and get you safe from the flu. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. Topeka Human Relations Commission has a Troy Scroggins Award, which is presented to deserving individuals and organizations for their efforts in furthering the Human Relations Commission mission, which is to ensure fair and equal rights to all citizens of Topeka. There is an Outstanding Individual Award, which is awarded to an individual whose efforts at ameliorating discrimination and prejudice and advancing diversity in Topeka are outstanding, singular, and noteworthy. So I'm very proud to announce that Edith Gaines, who's our Administrative Division Manager and Finance Officer at the Shawnee County Health Department, has been given this award this year. She received it Tuesday night at the City Council meeting. Edith created a racial equity impact analysis group at the Health Department, and this is a group that's comprised of staff and outside partners we're looking at all of our policies to look for any type of biases or inequities. So this group has been going for about 6 to 8 months, And what we hope is the work that we're doing at the health department, then our community partners will take the work and take it to their own agencies and organizations. We really have been struggling with how can we help with health equity. We know that we have a health equity problem in Topeka and Shawnee County. And so when Edith and I were talking about it, and I asked her, well, it's such a big problem, can we do? And her answer was, well, we start where we are and we work out. So Edith has done a fantastic job of getting that work going. I'm very proud that she was given this award, so I want to recognize her today.
Edith Gaines, Finance Officer with the Shawnee County Health Department. I just wanted to say this is a very important topic because racism does directly affect someone's health. Racism leads to chronic stress, and the hormones from chronic stress then leads to chronic diseases and premature infant deaths in pregnant mothers. And so there is that direct tie to the issue, and it's hard to address racism, but our group has come up with a definition of structural racism, and that helps guide us in addressing the work we're doing and looking at our internal policies and procedures to see how we can make sure we are providing culturally competent services. And the end result will be that hopefully all residents of Shawnee County will have improved, better health outcomes. We are working on a toolkit that other organizations would be able to use. One of the items is a brochure that I handed you all this morning. We also have a demographic survey that we use. We have a charter for the group. So the group is very structured. The community partners are just wonderful. They come to the meetings. They get to work. They come up with some very good ideas and make decisions very quickly. So we've been able to really move along and have good momentum, and I'm very proud of the whole entire racial equity impact analysis group. Thank you.
Edith, thank you very much for your work, and I think it's great you've been recognized for your efforts. So very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you,
Congratulations,
Commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Solid Waste. Would like to remind the Commission and the general public that this Saturday, 7th of December, from 9 to 12 will be our final collection event for household hazardous waste for this year. This year has been a record-setting year for customers visiting the facility. Hours again are from 9 to 12. Location is 131 Northeast 46th Street. If they have any questions, they can call the facility at 286-4381. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Maybe last but not least. And while I have to say that the cocoa event sounds really great, and I can encourage everybody to attend. I think I probably need that. I've been asked to tell you about a couple of initiatives that the Sheriff's Office has been involved in over the last couple of months regarding warrant service. On October 23rd, employees, both civilian and sworn, from the Sheriff's Office and Washington University Police Department participated in the 17th Annual National Family Violence Apprehension Detail. 23 employees from the two agencies joined 860 other participants from 256 different agencies in 32 states to serve domestic or family violence-related warrants and or civil process papers. We had our agency attempted 80 warrant service attempts, and with 23 being served. Additionally, 26 civil process papers were served, as well as a new case where a person had a possession of illegal narcotics and firearm. Overall, the national initiative saw almost 3,000 warrant attempts made, and 568 people went to jail for domestic-related crimes. This program started in 2002 in Clackamas County, Oregon, and since its inception, almost 90,000 warrant attempts have been made, with nearly 19,000 warrants being served. The The idea behind this initiative is that it sends a message to offenders that no matter where they flee, we will work together to hold them accountable for their crimes. So, our second initiative was Operation Safe Zone, and it took place on November 24th and 25th. It was a focused effort in some neighborhoods surrounding some elementary schools and a middle school near Washburn University. 49 officers from the Sheriff's Office, Topeka Police Department, Washburn University, and 501 School Police teamed up to attempt to warrant service on 252 individuals, and we cleared over 60 warrants with 52 arrests. Excuse me. All in all, it was a great effort. It got me out of the office, so that's always a plus. And it demonstrated the combined effort among our law enforcement partners to make our schools safer for our kids to get an education. So we are in the planning stages for more operations such as this throughout Topeka and Shawnee County. So just wanted to brief the commission on that. So.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Any others? Commissioner Mays?
Nothing from me.
Nothing from you, Commissioner Cook?
I find it deeply concerning the news that came out yesterday regarding Representative Watkins registering his address. I'm pleased to know that the district attorney has turned this over to the sheriff's office for investigation to make sure that the integrity of our elections are upheld. As the Board of County Canvassers, the county commission is responsible for the certification of every election. It is our job to make sure that the elections that we hold are true and valid in our counties and in our states. And so as the ultimate Board of County Canvassers, it's our job to certify those election results. I trust that the Sheriff's Office will be investigating not just this issue, but any other persons that might be registered at the UPS store as their address or post offices. I would ask you to check your registration, make sure you register to vote where you actually live. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I attended last Tuesday, I attended the Master Gardener's annual meeting, and that was a well-attended event. And this Saturday, I'm going to help out at Old Prairie Town with one of the nights of holiday happenings. So that's it for me on my social calendar. I'm going to make a motion, too, to go into executive session for a period not to exceed 30 minutes to discuss 3 items. One is for consultation with the attorney for the public body or agency to which would be deemed privilege in an attorney-client relationship, specifically to discuss pending litigation that's not to exceed 10 minutes. Second, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel, specifically to discuss the positions of the weed department, not to exceed 10 minutes, and the commission's office, not to exceed 10 minutes. No action is expected at this time.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 3-0. We're now in executive session.
Singing Baby Shark in my head. Like.
I'm glad I didn't know that tune. I'm not in that arena, I guess. Okay. We're officially back in session here. There's no action taken at this time, and I guess we're adjourned. So that's it. Sign papers.
We have one guy that took us 45.
Thanks, sir.